Welcome back to the raid. We got a big show today. NFL, NBA, MLB, and NKU talk. All right. Welcome back, everybody. I'm your host, Logan. I'm here with Alex.
How we doing?
And I'm here with Paris.
I'm ecstatic to be here.
Yeah. So we didn't get to do a show last week, but obviously the big elephant in the room when you talk NFL, the Chiefs go back-to-back and win their second Super Bowl in as many years. Whether people like it or not, I mean, that's a dynasty.
Yes.
That's a dynasty.
For sure.
Yes.
And I've seen a lot of talk about Mahomes entering the GOAT debate, which rightfully so. At this age, like, he's on pace to get there. But does tying Brady make him the GOAT, or does he have to get more than Brady because Brady beat him in Super Bowl 55?
Man, I think
That's a great question.
I think I think obviously there's no denying that he's on pace. Like, you look at the statistics, it's a fact. Like, he is on pace if he keeps what he's doing.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think if he gets like 6 and he has some of Brady's records and he has unbelievable play for that long, it's like, do you start to have that conversation? I don't even think the championships mean that he's a better player. But if he gets 6, like, are we really going to sit here and say, well, he can't? I mean, he's not even close to Brady, you know?
All right.
I don't know, because I feel like it kind of brings up the point where, like, Brady went and proved that he didn't need Bill Belichick to win a Super Bowl. He went and won it in Tampa. Does that mean that when Mahomes gets 6 in KC, he's going to have to leave Andy Reid? Or I don't know. I mean, how long does Andy Reid have left?
Yeah, well, that's a great point. Like, what does he look like without Andy Reid? Like, who do they bring in after?
Cliff Kingsbury.
Cliff Kingsbury.
Let's not forget that Andy Reid also had a coaching career before Mahomes and didn't win very many Super Bowls. So I don't think we can really credit those all to Andy Reid.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
That's true. That's
well,
fair.
and another point is that Tom Brady, even though he has 7 rings, he made 10 appearances. Like, 10.
That's unprecedented
if Mahomes has
stuff.
6 rings, but he's only been to 6. It's like, well, you have to consider the fact that Brady made 10 appearances, 10 AFC championships. Yeah. Well, 9, and then an NFC championship appearance. That's impressive.
It's like the LeBron argument.
There
It's just, he's only made it to him. It's not that big of an accomplishment.
It's like
it obviously is.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
But Patrick Mahomes being to 4 Super Bowls already and, 3-1 in those.
That's to say, because, like, in LeBron's case, he didn't make the finals till, year 8 or 9?
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. And Mahomes is getting there, and he's already been to 4 and won 3. So
yeah.
And the only quarterback to beat him in the Super Bowl is Tom Brady. I mean, like, he's
the official GOAT.
Yeah. He's unbeatable in the playoffs unless you're Joe Burrow in 2022.
Oh,
like,
okay.
that's it. Like,
that's what I loved about after the Super Bowl. All the Bengals fans were like, Joe Burrow's coming.
Hey, he is. He's coming back.
It makes it so easy to hate.
Oh no, trust me, I know. But hey, if they can shape that roster up,
right. Well, but speaking of rosters, it is crazy that the Chiefs are set up to be a three-peat. Like, that's a young defense. They're really fast, and their receiving core sucked this year. And it's only going to get better, you have to assume, right? Like, you think?
I don't know. If they prove they can win it with that, they might shed a little weight off the roster.
I guess you're right.
I think with this game proved defense wins championships because that offense was anemic at best.
Yes.
And if they can win with that offense, just relying on their defense, they're going to do it every year because Mahomes is going to show up when it matters most.
That's right.
So I think a three-peat is more than likely coming.
Yep.
Exactly. And the last quarterback Mahomes lost to was Aiden O'Connell. And Aiden O'Connell had 67 passing yards that game.
Yeah, that's true.
And if it wasn't for that offense turning like two turnovers into touchdowns, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
That was like kind of like a microcosm of what you were seeing from the Chiefs offense all year.
Yeah.
And then they take it to the Super Bowl, score 19 points in regulation. And I mean, you know when the Niners didn't score a touchdown, that
what are you doing, man? What are you doing, man? It's 4th and 4.
We were playing for the 3rd overtime. Whatever, buddy. Whatever, man.
I don't mind.
You didn't know the overtime rules.
No idea.
I kind of understand wanting to be like, I'll take the ball last and hopefully we can win. But obviously they can go for 2 and win. But that the 49ers were like, no, we just didn't know the rules. That's an indictment on everybody. Fire the coaching staff. Like,
that's bad.
That's really bad. And for Shanahan to double down and be like, no, we just didn't know. Not a good look.
That's terrible.
Not great.
Well, looking ahead, now that it is officially the off season, I know you two have been looking at the mock drafts, and the one we wanted to talk about today was Daniel Jeremiah's most recent one, mock draft 2.0. Caleb Williams going number 1 overall to the Bears. Means the Fields era is done. What do you guys think?
I would not be surprised at that at all. I think they should give Justin Fields another chance with a great receiver, but I understand wanting to go the cheap route and have a rookie contract that is arguably a better, if not just as good, quarterback. So I can't argue with that, really.
The only thing that makes me confused by if they did that, you would assume that in the offseason that they would go out and get a new head coach too, right? Instead of having Caleb Williams be under Eberflus for a year and then more than likely firing Eberflus, it's like if you just fired him, just clean house and start fresh with the rookie quarterback and a new head coach, I think you'd probably have more success down the line than anything else. But that pick wouldn't surprise me if they did that at all.
Yeah, and a lot of offense, like very offense heavy in this first round mock draft. I mean,
I think like 4 quarterbacks in the top 8.
Yeah, out of the top 10 picks, every single one of them is an offensive player. Like you got Williams, May. The Patriots drafting Marvin Harrison in this mock is interesting.
That was my first big problem with this mock draft.
But
that's not happening.
I'll say I don't have a problem with it. I think if you give Mac Jones the weapons, he can win you the games.
So do you
prove that?
Do you believe in Mac Jones or Justin Fields more?
That's an interesting question.
It's an interesting spot for Justin Fields.
One of those two quarterbacks has been to the playoffs before.
Fair.
That's true. They got
and
drummed.
Okay, but
playoffs,
Mac Jones, when he had the weapons, proved that he was a good quarterback. I mean, obviously he's a system quarterback, but 80% of NFL quarterbacks are. Like that's just what it's become.
Yeah, but like you're the Patriots, okay? You have found yourself in a spot where you're in the top 3 of the draft. This is your time to take a quarterback. Because if you stick with Mac Jones, you could be in an Andy Dalton, no offense, Steelers position where you're in quarterback purgatory and you're sitting at like middle 500 every year and you're drafting in the middle of the draft.
Drafting at 20 every year, the Mike Tomlin effect.
Yes. Yeah.
That's fair. It. I don't know, but like other like Jaden Daniels going to the Giants.
Yeah.
That's interesting to me because Daniel Jones era over?
You don't believe in Danny Dimes?
I don't
believe
in
nothing new to give him a $40 million contract. So
that's correct. Well, but Jimmy Garoppolo also got paid last offseason, and he's probably not even going to start in the NFL.
Oh, he was taking steroids. Apparently.
What was up with that? Where did that come from? How do you get benched for Aiden O'Connell and you're taking steroids? How does that happen?
Apparently he was taking a prescribed medicine. I don't know how much I buy it, but I mean, if you're just taking roids to ride the bench, that's kind of crazy.
That's wild.
That sucks.
I don't know. Looking ahead, though, we've got a lot of NBA talk coming up. You know, the big Steph, Sabrina, and then some more All-Star Week talk.
Only in the forest can you see this. And this. And this. But nothing beats the moment you see that.
Cool!
That's your child's eyes opening up to a world of possibilities.
I didn't know it could do that!
Because one trip to the forest can spark a world of difference.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go, like hiking, canoeing, fishing, or camping. Or create your own adventure with family and friends, and you might just see this. Your moment's out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org. That's discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. This breaks my heart, and it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and gives it to families in need. To help, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Logan, once again, and I'm back with Alex.
How we doing?
And I'm back with Paris.
Hey.
So, NBA All-Star Weekend just wrapped up. A lot of interesting things happened, to say the least. First thing I wanted to bring up was the Steph versus Sabrina shootout. Me and Alex will go ahead and graciously admit that we were wrong.
Yeah, that hurt, but it was close.
The last-second decision for Sabrina to shoot from the men's three-point line might have affected my prediction, but I still think, she came out and made her first 7. I think she definitely applied the pressure.
Yeah.
And was arguably the best event of All-Star Weekend.
Yep.
I don't think it's even arguably, honestly.
Yeah.
And I think if it comes back next year and with different people, maybe a 2-on-2 kind of action. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of talk about what could happen with it in the future, but I do hope that it does come back because that was really good.
That was electric,
It was just unfortunate, some of the things that were being said about
it was for sure.
Yeah.
The contestants, but
yeah, Kenny saying that that she shouldn't have shot from the NBA 3-point line. It's not like she went out there and she scored 6 points.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
She
was willing to shoot with the men's ball.
Yeah.
She was shooting with the men's ball.
Yeah.
Like she was with Steph Curry, one of the best 3-point shooters in the NBA.
And shooting is all about feel. So even if Steph had the WNBA ball, I feel like he would be a little off too because it's just about how you feel shooting the basketball.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was pulling for, especially for reasons like that, because people were talking crazy and
very crazy.
And it was just unfortunate.
I think they should do more crossover events like that in the
if Caitlin Clark's in the WNBA, I would love to see her.
Her score would have got her in the final of the regular 3-point contest.
Yeah.
So I think she did okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
I don't know what we do for next year because people were talking about like Steph and Clay, and then people were like, Clay's a little washed, so maybe not. Because Caitlin Clark and Sabrina probably again would probably kill them if it was Clay being the second one. But who knows?
Right.
But you got to tell Clay's coming off the bench. Then
he's tough. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
then
he'll
he's
make
10 threes.
Yeah.
Or tell him it's game 6. One of the two. It's all you need. All you need. So with the talking about the 3-point contest, Dame going back to back, his legacy just grows. Real big trophy case he's got run over there in Milwaukee. But I mean, I honestly picked Karl Towns, another former 3-point contest winner.
Yeah.
But props to Dame, he's shooting lights
for
out.
what, for the MVP of the All-Star game?
No, for the 3-point contest.
Okay.
Karl Towns should have been the MVP of the All-Star game too, but
okay.
That was
discussion for later.
One of the best 3-point contests there have been, though. Honestly, 4 people. Was it 4 people getting 26 in the first round?
Yeah,
that's insane.
That's crazy stuff. That's crazy stuff. So Mac McClung going back to back in the dunk contest.
Yep.
And then being banished to the G League once again.
Yeah.
The NBA just likes to bring him
Gets
out for a weekend.
One time
he didn't even put on the NBA jersey for this one either. He stuck with the G League jersey the whole time.
It's like Groundhog's Day. He just comes up for the dunk contest.
That's right. The people he's going to DoorDash to today are they're not going to believe.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I won the dunk contest. Yeah. Okay, buddy. I'm sure he did.
Yeah, man. No, looks to me like your resume says you play for the Osceola Magic. So. No, listen, I love Mac McClung, and I think that's hype, but I just feel so bad for him that he gets all this props and fanfare for one weekend just to get sunk back down to minor league basketball.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, they're not clearing out the lane in regular NBA games, so
no.
I don't think it's going to be very effective otherwise.
Yeah, he's not going to drive on Rudy Gobert. He's not doing that. He's not doing that.
What's up with Jaylen Brown also just being terrible?
The worst.
Just awful.
One of the worst.
How did he make it to the finals over Jacob Toppin? I'm like,
I don't know. It's hilarious.
But I don't think the NBA would have allowed 2 G League players to play in the finals against each other.
The D Brown impression where he covered his face after he had dunked is one of the most embarrassing dunks I've ever seen.
Humiliating. Humiliating.
Was he not honoring Terrence Clark on that dunk too? Or was that a different one?
No, that was a different one.
Okay, I was going to say.
No, Terrence Clark, very good.
That was very good.
That was honestly.
That was cool. But
and then dunking over Kai, like, he's in a chair.
Dunking over 5'3" Kai Cenat. Like
I am taller than Kai was right now, so that's not impressive.
That's crazy. Man. That's crazy. So, talking about the actual All-Star game itself, obviously it sucked. The East scored 211 points.
Awful. Garbage.
So, there's been a lot of solutions. I think bringing back the draft, was a home run idea. Adam Silver was doing great with that.
Yeah.
And the target score in the prime, the All-Star game in Chicago when the target score first happened, that was peak basketball.
Yes.
I mean, you had guys like LeBron and Anthony Davis playing as hard as they could
yes.
to get to that target score. And I think the one thing, if they bring that back, heavy bonuses for the winning team and nothing for the losing team.
Yeah.
More incentive to win.
Yeah.
My only problem with that is these are like certified all-stars. Like they're making way more than that. How are they really going to care about $1 million or something?
That's fair.
Yeah, like how many of them have supermax contracts in that were there?
I would argue like all of them.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
Besides like guys like Tyrese Maxey who haven't got out of their first contract
Yeah,
yet.
yeah. But like if you give them $50,000, like that's nothing to sneeze at for me and you, but for them it's like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
They don't get out of bed for less.
And
Yeah.
I feel like we kind of mentioned it earlier, but out of the 20 people that played in this game, Damian Lillard was treating it like it was the NBA Finals, a place he's never been, by the way.
Okay.
So he wouldn't know. But Damian Lillard was going try-hard mode.
Yeah, but I don't hate that. Like
I do.
The effort sucked from everyone else. Like, and you need somebody to step up.
I don't know. Like Karl Towns just casually drops 50, without even really trying, and Dame is just pulling up from the logo every time. He's like, I gotta do this.
Luka pulling up from the other foul line on the other side of the court. Yeah.
But you know what? I'm happy. Dame got 2 more trophies to add to his trophy case, and he's really building his legacy.
It was disappointing the first time Steph, KD, and LeBron all play together. We don't get to see them actually try.
That's such a bummer.
LeBron didn't even play the second half, which was disappointing.
Yeah, LeBron was. All right. Well, we're looking forward to the MLB talk here, and we'll be right back.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay.
Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, you're driving blind. Life is worth more than a text. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Logan, and I'm here with Garrett.
What's up, guys?
And Paris.
Hey, if
you can do it. This guy. So, spring training, players are reporting. It's got me excited, The Reds are posting all their clips,
Mm-hmm.
It's exciting stuff, but noticeable players aren't reporting for spring training, such as Cody Bellinger and Blake Snell. What's going on? Are they going to sign?
It's better for the sport of baseball if they sign.
Yeah,
that for sure.
I wouldn't hate it if the reigning National League Cy Young pick the team to play for.
Yeah, what's going on, man?
I don't know.
At this point, you have teams that have said that they're done at, like the Reds have come out, like had said, we're pretty much done adding in free agency, and they're not the only ones. And these guys are just still sitting out there after the winter meetings. It's like, what's the holdup? What are we waiting on?
Blake Snell, you are a Nippon Ham fighting tiger. He's gonna go play with Trevor Bauer.
That's right. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Also, every post I see is from like the Reds is just another fan clamoring, sign Trevor Bauer to a 1-year deal. Sign Trevor Bauer to a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
Listen, I wouldn't hate it. He's a great pitcher, but the PR nightmare that would bring is something I don't think that the Reds want to deal with.
It's a 50-50 coin flip, honestly.
Yeah. Because, he's either a PR nightmare and he's bad, or he's a PR nightmare and he's good.
Right.
Yeah, but can you imagine if he's bad, like how ripped apart the Reds are going to be?
Exactly, and that's I think the risk that they don't want to take. Because didn't he get sent down to the minors?
Like before he went to...
No, when he was in He played in Korea, right?
Oh yeah, he
Or
did.
Japan?
He got demoted to
He got demoted to the minor leagues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
Korean
crazy.
minor leagues.
Not great.
For a previous MLB pitcher. I mean, granted, Korea's got a great baseball program. There's no MLB.
No.
Previous MLB Cy Young.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, granted, it wasn't the COVID year, but still, I think he was a great pitcher that year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely.
And so, is there any like potential landing spots you could see for Blake Snell? Like the only thing that comes to mind for me is like Boston.
Yeah, but hasn't Boston said that they're done adding? Or maybe I'm wrong, but I swear I thought that they also said that they were done adding.
I don't know. I'm not too deep into the Boston media. I don't follow it that heavy.
Yeah.
I have honestly no real predictions because at this point I haven't seen what teams are done and which teams are still adding. I'd like to see Snell. I'd like to see him stay in the NL.
Yeah.
But I don't know where he goes. I don't know if he stays in the West or if he tries his hand. I like to see him in the East. I think he could hang with the dogs in the East.
What about Bellinger? Do you think he goes back to Chicago?
He's gonna go back to Chicago.
I
feel like the writing's on the wall.
I hope he goes back to Chicago because I think he perfectly embodies that city and its energy. I think he's like the perfect. He's now even though he's only been there for that 1 year deal, he's already sort of becoming like the face of the rebuilt Chicago Cubs.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
For sure.
Yeah, he's kind of like the new Chris Bryant sort of player.
Exactly.
There. But the only thing is, like, I'm gonna selfishly hope that he doesn't go back.
I mean,
to Chicago because I don't want to have to play him X amount of times per year. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Talking about like these free agents and not signing. Scott Boras is so.
I think he has 4 of the big free agents as his client, right? Like 4. I forget exactly which ones. He might have Blake Snell. I might be talking out of my.
I don't know if he has Snell, but he has Seabell. So.
Here's the thing: it's really hard to determine if a guy like Scott Boras is actually bad for baseball or not. Realistically, like he's great for the players that he represents.
Fantastic.
He's gonna get them every last penny that they deserve, but teams hate him.
Yeah.
But
if I'm the general manager of a team, I would hate him.
In a league that has no salary cap and no salary floor, his tactics aren't great for like it is great. We all want players to get paid, right?
Yeah.
But like the fact that these guys still haven't signed and the Cactus League starts on Saturday, the Reds play their first Cactus League game on Saturday. That's not good for the it's not good for the game. Like I want them to get paid.
At this point, you're just pinching pennies just to pinch pennies. Like,
you're just pinch pennies. Yeah.
We got to get these guys on a team. It's just better for the sport of baseball when the stars are playing the sport.
Yes. Yeah.
We have to. I applaud Scott Boras for his efforts in making sure to get all of his representees the money that they deserve. But at some point, we have to let the guys play.
Yeah. The only comparison I can think of, he's like a super extreme baseball version of Rich Paul. Because I feel like Rich Paul's pretty good at getting his guys what they deserve, but he's not making them hold out and do all this.
I mean, but what is the end game here? Like, what if teams don't sign one of his clients? Like, what if Cody Bellinger doesn't re-sign for this year? Like, that's kind of a problem.
Like, what does he do then?
Yeah, what does he do?
I've never really seen anything like that, so I don't know.
Yeah,
no, it's up in the air right now for sure. But my personal opinion is super agents like Boras don't belong in the sport.
Yeah, I think it also. I think part of it is Boras, but I think also you have to consider the regional sports networks and that whole issue there. Like, there's a lot of teams with the Reds. We all know about that. Like, the uncertainty right there of the money coming in that they might not want to go out and sign one of these huge free agents, which is really not good for the game of baseball.
No.
Really,
no, it's terrible. Local blackouts are ruining baseball. I'll stay on that hill till I die.
Yep,
horrible.
I agree.
Horrible.
It's terrible.
Yeah, and I saw Rob Manfred said his term will end in 2029.
Yep, he did. He renewed his contract and he said this is the last time.
2029 can't come soon enough. I mean, come on. I'm at this point. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Like,
no, guy sucks.
Man, like, cool, dude. You got this cool high position. You're ruining the game I love.
Yeah, like the lockout, I think, for a lot of people, kind of ruined their view on him if it wasn't already just demolished before that. But I did see something about Amazon Prime possibly
Yeah, the MLB itself is taking over some of the local broadcasts. There's 5 teams that lost total streaming rights.
Amazon,
like the Diamondbacks.
Amazon Prime swooped in and bailed out Bally's.
Mm-hmm.
So Bally's was carrying, I think after they dropped the Padres, it was 13 teams total.
Yeah.
But that does not count for the Reds, right?
No.
Looking ahead, we got some NKU talk, and Alex is going to come back.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
I want to thank my mommy for loving me so much,
for taking me to the doctor when I broke my foot,
for leaving me alone when I wanted to be alone.
And now, as a grown-up, I'm thankful for being able to take care of you, my dear mom, for taking you to your therapies, for understanding that sometimes you simply want to be alone.
Roles change without us noticing. That's why AARP gives you the information to provide even better care for your loved one. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Welcome back once again. I'm your host, Logan, and I'm back with Alex.
How we doing?
And Garrett. All right. So, NKU Hoops. A lot of very exciting games recently, especially the ones on the road. Fortunately, the Milwaukee game didn't end the way we hoped. Losing on a game winner hurts every time. But that game at Green Bay, that's a gritty 1-point road win. That's
awesome.
You win those, you win in the tournament, is what I like to say.
I was really hoping that they would pull that out versus Milwaukee and go undefeated in the state of Wisconsin, because that's extremely hard to do.
That's tough. That's
in
tough
the Horizon League, and the women also almost did it. They beat Milwaukee and then lost to Green Bay, but I was really hoping we could get that done.
I know that would have been a fun one. But a lot of exciting basketball being played right now. Like, they're keeping it close with good teams in the league, and it definitely gives me a little bit of hope for the Horizon League
for sure
future this year. But do I think we can win the tournament? I don't know. It's tough.
It helps when you host the first round, and
doesn't look like that's going to be the case.
They're only a game back of fourth, which is all you need to be able to host the first round. So they could do it.
There's a big stretch of games coming up for them.
Yeah, they got a big one Thursday. Cleveland State. That's one that kind of feel like they're tied in the standings. That's when you get that. You get a little breathing room, but
and they lost.
The two after that are very winnable games.
For sure.
No, IUPUI and Robert Morris back to back.
Right.
Those are two very winnable games, and then you end the year at Wright State.
Well, the last time they played IUPUI, they beat them at their home by 15. So I think that's a very winnable game. Cleveland State, they lost by 3 in overtime on the road, so that'll be a tough one. But I think with the home court advantage, they should be able to get it.
Yeah.
No, I would think that this would be sort of a must-win for them, just to maintain that positive psychology.
Yeah, because they have been on runs this season, whether it's been winning or losing streaks. It comes in
for sure.
3 games apiece, it seems like. So let's just hope that one unfortunate win at Milwaukee doesn't result in like a 3-game losing streak.
Yeah,
I would hope 3 out of 4. That's what I would hope for out of these last 4 games. Just win 3 out of the 4, get into that 4 seed. Hell, maybe you jump somebody. Who knows?
And on the women's side, currently sitting at 7-9 in the conference. They also have the 4 games left. They can still make that push and go for that 500 record. But 2 pretty tougher games coming up at home with Purdue, Fort Wayne, and Youngstown.
Yeah.
And then they also go on the road to play Robert Morris, and then they get Cleveland State that last game. Cleveland State right
tough.
now.
Yeah,
unreal. 23 and 4 on the year.
This is a tough stretch for the women.
Yeah,
but they've won 8 of the last 10, so I'm not going to count them out.
They're hot, and they're very close to getting right back to 500 in the conference.
They're riding that they're riding that underdog sort of
for
wave,
sure.
Where it's just like these teams are underestimating us. Let's show them not to do that. Right. I mean, hell, they scored 100 points against IUPUI the other day.
Yeah. And if nothing else, I mean, it gives you hope for next season because seeing this team be healthy and consistent after they've got everybody back is a good sign.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. And the last thing I want to talk about, obviously, the elephant in the room on the men's side, Marquez Warwick, the new all-time leading scorer for NKU basketball. I was at the game, Alex. I know you were too. Garrett, you were there.
I was watching from home.
I gotcha. So nothing happened when he made that free throw. Everyone got super excited and recorded. I got a video of it on my phone, and then the game just kind of
kept going.
Yep, there was no fanfare, no nothing. I guess that was always the plan. I really don't know.
I don't know either. I feel like you should call a timeout in that point, but it was really cool afterwards to see him get to celebrate with his mom and stuff.
Yeah.
But
absolutely,
definitely.
That was very heartwarming.
And I was behind the bench, so I got to see like how locked in he still was, which I found very impressive because he acted like nothing really happened. So maybe he told them not to do that.
Yeah, that could have been his choice. Well, I want to go ahead and thank everyone for listening and or watching today. Today was a lot of fun. You know, we got the cameras back and everything. So, for all of us here, we want to thank you guys for tuning in.